Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I am going to be climbing from gold 3 to nearest gold 2, so I wanted to share the deck that I'll be using to make the climb through those ranks. It is a Boros aggro list that I call Boros Hates You. It is basically a Boros aggro list, but with the addition of some healing. So we run the healing package of Healer's Hawks, Leonin Vanguard, Johnny's Welcomes, Legion's Landing, then we run a Johnny's Pridemates, and a Dawn of Hope. Then we run the aggro package of Vyoshino Pyromancers, Legion Warboss, History of Benalia, 1 Aurelia Exemplar of Justice, and 4 Heroic Enforcement. So it's kind of a hybrid between two decks, but being a hybrid between two decks, it's not going to be as strong against aggro as like a mono white list, but as you start moving up the higher ranks in gold, so towards the end of gold or the top of gold, you start running into kind of a mix of aggro, and it's like a 50-50 mix of aggro and control. So you can't rely on just running the mono white anymore because you just get shut out of too many of your control games and you never go anywhere. So when you switch to this list, it makes you fast enough to where you can beat control a good percentage of the time. And like I said, you're not as strong as you used to be against mono red and mono blue, but you still have a favorable chance against those two decks, so you're still favored in those matches. So basically it gives you a shot against control, and you still have a favorable match against the other two. So this is what I chose to run. I will get into the matches, and you guys can watch them for yourself. So our hand's not looking too bad here. A Johnny's into Tithe Taker. So with the Mistcloak, we feel like we're facing mono blue, so we're going to play accordingly. Tithe Taker is a very strong card against them. And like every mono blue list that you play, they have a Mistcloak Herald and a Curious Obsession starting hand. It wouldn't be mono blue unless they had that. So we're going to drop Tithe Taker. And we see another Curious Obsession. Not too worried about it. He's going to draw a lot of cards. At this point, we're not trying to stop his card draw because it's past that point in the game. Five on the third turn. Not a bad play. Having the heroic reinforcements in hand, what we're trying to do is just set up a swing turn to OTK him. So we want to bide our time and stall the game out. You can let him keep drawing his cards and hopefully open up a counterattack. So no point in playing the heroic reinforcements right now. We will just get the Pyromancer down for some more damage and set up our swing turn for next turn. Hopefully he doesn't draw into an answer for our board. Our opponent has a lot of cards in hand. Seeing him play an Opt is a good sign. That tells me that he is looking for another one of his tap all our creatures card and he hasn't found it yet. So our opponent has one more turn to draw into his tap all our creatures. So that's what he's doing right now. He probably runs 3 of those in his deck and he's filtering to find them. Blink of an eye is a good sign. Another blink of an eye is a good sign. It's telling us he does not have the tap all creatures. Right now, our board is too wide for him to deal with, so we will win this game. So we're up against a control deck. We know that we need to try to push damage as quickly as possible. We attack. I mean, that's a favorable trade for us if he decides to block, so. So interesting that we just saw a black land go into his graveyard. That tells us that this is probably a pretty heavy control list. Seeing the treasure map is a good sign. Anytime you see a control deck searching for answers on a pivotal turn is a good sign for us. He has no choice but to block. He took a dive down. I'm guessing maybe that was the only card in the top of his library that he could grab, and then he lava coiled the wrong creature. Why he didn't lava coil the Resplendent Angel is beyond me on that play. So a misplay from our opponent, and will allow us to take the game. Again, we really like to see a 1-drop in this deck when we start, but we can work with what we have. We drop the Primate over the Pyromancer so that we have a blocker in case he decides to swing in. Hostage Taker really hurt us. planned on dropping the Legion War boss into the Ajani's Primate, which would have been a very good play. So the hostage taker on our Johnny's Primate was the deciding factor in this game. So now that he has Wild Growth Walker out within a Johnny's Primate, it's not looking good for us. Now he has 2 Wild Growth Walkers out. We are going to probably hit the concede button here pretty soon. Just doesn't matter. His board is too wide for us to deal with, and so we'll hit resolve all. So the only reason we stayed in this game a little bit longer is because just in case our opponent made a misplay and attacked without having lethal, there was always a chance that we could draw into a heroic reinforcement, so we had a pretty wide board at the time. So a couple of swing turns could have made the game go our way, but our opponent's playing very cautiously and smart, so he's not going to give us an opportunity to make any good plays. That being said, once I realized that he is not going to overcommit on anything, rather than sit here and wait for him to do all his stuff, we will move on to our next one. So we didn't draw into our third land, which can be pretty troublesome for this deck. We didn't draw into it again, so sitting on 4th turn on 2 lands, we know that we probably lost the game. That's just the way that tempo decks work. So now we're sitting on 5th turn, still haven't got a 3rd land. At this point, our chances of success are very, very low. And now we're on 6th turn, 2 lands. So basically, we got land screwed. We know at this point that if we get one more piece of our board removed, that we will lose the game. So I have 7th turn, no land, that's a concede. It's just part of the game. You are going to lose some games from being either flooded or screwed. This deck runs 22 lands, so we should never be on 2 lands at 8th turn, but it happens. So looks like we're up against Merfolk this match. So it looks like a pretty standard Merfolk list so far. Against Merfolk, you generally just want to go wide in the early game. And we get the concede from our opponent. So we see Simic colors again. We see a Revitalize, that tells us we are up against a control list. Seeing we are up against a control list, we are trying to push damage as a priority. So here we are, sitting on 2 lands on 4th turn again. Not looking well for us unless we can draw into a land quickly. So there's a 3rd land, although on 5th turn it might be too late. So at this point we're debating on whether we get the extra damage through or we develop a bigger board. We don't have enough for lethal this turn. Close, but not enough. So we would need 1 more turn for lethal. And our opponent concedes. So somehow we made it through our land. Screw that game. Looks like we're up against mono red. With a very, very, very fast start. So this mono red list running Chain Whirlers does not bode well for us. There's a second Chain Whirler. At this point, this game is over and we have lost.
Don't look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going high.
So it looks like we're up against another aggro list. At this point, we're just waiting for a 4th land. We have 2 heroic reinforcements in hand on Aurelia. It's looking pretty good for us. But we are being held hostage by our last land. There's the land. We'll drop a little Aurelia first to generate a bigger board. We haven't seen a lot of removal coming out of this guy. And we will swing in for lethal. Let's head into our last match for the day. We've got a pretty strong mono white start. Although if we draw into our red cards, we might be into some trouble. Johnny's welcome into Pride Mate. Good start so far. Lava Coil, so here we are again, up against Is It again. Is it Drake's? Probably.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love is
So, we're doing two heroic reinforcements, sitting on 3 lands on turn 5 now. It's looking like we might get another game where we are starved of resources. So now 5th turn, 3 lands, not looking good. But if we draw into a red land, we are very well set. No blocks here, I don't think. And that was a top deck that we needed. A couple things went right there. We didn't hit a negate or a spell pierce, and we go into our land, so. This guy takes like, I remember this match, this guy takes like he ropes every single decision out, like he ropes his blocks out, it was driving me nuts.
Don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
3 mana open. Don't think this guy would have anything in his deck that can win him the game with 3 mana open. Yep, a couple Arclights aren't going to do it. And we'll take that one. So we just worked our way from gold 3, about 3/4 of the way to gold 2. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment in the comment section below, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.